Hey guys, Variety here. Welcome to today's video in which I'm going to be introducing you to a new game called Palia. Palia is a free-to-play community sim building game that is currently in closed beta access, which will become available in a couple of days. Palia would be like Stardew Valley, My Time at Portia, the type of games in which you go out, collect resources, talk to villagers, complete quests, except Palia has a multiplayer aspect in which you can invite friends to your house, you can invite them to your server, you can gather together, hunt together. So it's more of a multiplayer game in which you can add anybody that is online rather than a couple of people at maximum that you personally know. So it does have the MMO aspect, which is really cool. And each map that you're running around on does have people running around, sometimes contesting resources, depending on which one it is. So I've been playing Palia for about 40 to 50 hours at this point, and I've been having a lot of fun. A lot more fun than I believed that I would have coming in. It really scratched that urge for a good farming grind simulator and more of a cozy game rather than a traditional MMO of running to the end and completing the dungeon at level 50. So today's video, I'm going to touch on each of the skills and just show you bits of the game as to what you would expect if you decide to try out Palia, which I do strongly recommend that you do so. So let's get into it. So one of the places you'll be spending a lot of time in Palia will be the first town, which is here. If you zoom out the map, you can see you have all of these villages running around, and they're all really important because you have different stores like buying and selling that are related to different skills. Each villager will require you to gift them, talk to them, do them quests, encouraging you to increase your reputation with them. And when you do, they'll give you more quests, better rewards, and just access to some things that you can't get until much later on. They'll also give you the ability to romance some of the characters. For example, if you go into relationships, you can see down here I have various levels of reputation with them. They do unlock some of the key storyline too as well. So it's really important and strongly recommended that you're constantly running through town, talking to them, helping them, and just various interacting with the characters in a nice cozy environment that's more about enjoying and slowing down the pace than just kind of rushing through the content. You'll be going through a lot of the stores, buying and selling, recipes to level up your skills, which are a key part of Palia. So if we open up the skill menu, you'll see down here we have fishing, cooking, gardening, mining, furniture making, foraging, bug catching, and hunting. Each of these skills have a different NPC associated with it, and they all have their own recipes and skill levels required to be able to unlock higher tier content. So right here, I'm going to show you the basic of a couple of them. So what we're going to do is, as you can see, there's people running around killing monsters right now. That's what I meant earlier by people sometimes competing for resources. So let's pull out my bow. Nope, that's too far. Here we go. So that is the level 1 hunter. That's what you'll be doing at the beginning for the hunting skill. Later on, you're going to have to chase higher level monsters, and they'll have special abilities like teleportation, duplication, and other things like that, where you'll require higher level gear to effectively fight them. Fortunately, Palia doesn't fall into the gap that many other games do, in which you do the same exact game loop. For example, you shoot one arrow and that's every monster for the hunting. There's actually a lot more to it than that, and most of the skills kind of get more complicated as you level up, which is very welcoming. I was worried that it wouldn't be like that, but it is. So it's actually been a lot more fun than I anticipated. So next up, let's have a look at the fishing rod. So this is probably where you're going to be fishing at level 1 along the fishing NPC right there. So fishing is relatively pretty basic, but as you try to attempt to catch rare types of fish, you're going to have to get add-ons to your fishing rod, more powerful fishing rods, and special types of bait in various ways, and fishing at different locations, both day and night, to catch different types of rare fish. So there's a lot more to it than just throwing out your rod and pulling your fish in. Okay, so over here, let's have a look at woodcutting. So foraging counts picking up stuff, and it also counts as cutting down trees. Initially, you'll just be cutting down trees, but later on, you'll be teaming up with other people to cut down trees together, as it is required for high level flow trees. If you run around and just pick up your foraging and cut trees, you'll level up your foraging pretty quick. So now let's have a look at hunt. Bug catching, apologies. So we're gonna throw at this guy here. Okay. There we go. As you just saw, I quickly caught him. As with the other skills, you're going to need different items to capture different ones. And you're going to need a higher level, otherwise they get very difficult to catch them. You'll also be running around and picking up kind of like resources like this, storing them in your bag. You'll be doing all this at the same time while you're trying to talk to the NPCs, complete quests, level up your skills, and returning home to cover some of your other skills, which we will go back and have a look at now. So this is your instance farming plot, in which you can invite other people in with you if you wish. However, you can completely do it solo if you want as well. This is the total area that you can build. This here is pretty much your most basic house. I haven't really invested heavily into furniture making yet, because I focused on collecting resources and getting everything I need so I can build faster rather than building early. So you may see that my place is a bit of a dumpster fire. You will have various machines to smelt bars, looms, and other type of machinery to create your items from your produce. You'll also have jars, and you'll also have seed hoppers. You'll have cooking and farming. So over here, I'm going to show you the very basics of cooking. So, you know, some games, when you get into them, this is pretty much the whole cooking, right? You go in, you walk up to a fire, you click, and you put your food on the fire, and you're kind of like, well, this isn't very interesting cooking, is it, right? No, it's not. However, in Palia, as I was explaining earlier, it's not like that. Let's go over in here and have it show you some of the basic food. There is much more to it than this, but I'll show you this one because I don't want to spoil too much. And success, there we go. I got my vegetable soup. You have to go around the world, you have to find these recipes, which are sometimes locked behind reputation, or you have to buy them or find them, and then you have to play mini games to be able to cook your food. So there's much more to it than just putting your food down on fire. So I hope that shows you that Palia is more than just using the basic mechanics right at the beginning of the game all the way through leveling up your skills, which is really cool. Okay, so let's go over here and have a look at farming. So before we pick out these herbs, I want to show you something. By clicking the G key, notice that there's different types of boosts on here. You'll have water boost, quality boost, harvest boost, and other types of boosts. This is based upon which fertilizer you're using, and it's based upon which plants you're putting down in which order, like which ones are touching each other. So there's much more to farming than, for example, putting down 50 carrots or 50 tomatoes. You actually got to put a bit of effort into it and think about it to get your maximum yields, which is honestly very enjoyable, much more enjoyable than just planting random plants. Okay, so right now we are running around and picking up some various plants. So we're grabbing mostly potatoes, tomatoes, and cotton right now, although the cotton needs to get changed out. Okay, so what we're looking for is we're looking for a gap so I can put a new one down. Okay, perfect. So what we're going to do is this row here, I'm going to change it. It's no longer going to be cotton, but for now, let's put this one down. So you put your seeds down. Pull out your watering jug. You water your plants. You select your fertilizer if you have any on you. Unfortunately, it appears I do not. You put your fertilizer down and you can do different types of rotations. There are many different ways you can do this and different items you can grow, which is really cool. And then you can do different things with the items, such as you can cook them, or you can throw them in here to preserve them and to get your focus back. So there's really a lot of things that you can be doing with this, which is really cool, and I'm really looking forward to getting more things to grow. Okay, so now that we've looked at farming and cooking, let's have a look at the furniture making. So I do apologize, the furniture making, as you can see in here, is not the one I focused on, as I mentioned. However, let's have a look at some of the things you can build. So this will give you an idea of kind of what you're looking at. As you're building new items, so when you build an item that you haven't built before, you'll get an inspiration. And when you get that inspiration over here on the crafting bench, you get to select one of 3 new items you can create. So it encourages you to build different items which require different resources throughout the game. So for example, picking this one and then just picking up a lot of logs and a lot of rocks, while technically will level you, it's not going to give you the inspiration to unlock the more advanced recipes and to unlock achievements and other things like that and to get the better recipes. So you can't be doing that. So I did just mention achievements. So if you open up here, you get your accomplishments, which I call achievements. In here, you do different types of things in the game, from farming to fishing. Each of your skills will give you reputation, which you can use to expand your housing plots, to get more focus, to make you, in general, more powerful. So doing different things in the game is really cool. You also get more rewards when you hit the level 10. And then as you're leveling up towards level 20, there really is a lot going on. Combining that with the reputation, the quests which you're trying to achieve, leveling up your skills, and in general just trying to keep your gold flow up because you're buying a lot of recipes. So right now my plot is pretty basic. You can unlock all these, and you can also get hallways, a bigger building. You can also get fireplaces and many other things. Not to mention just your building, which can get much larger than what I have. You can also put an aquarium and bug catching places in your house, so when you go out and catch rare fish or rare bugs, you can show them off to your friends by inviting them into your instant zone, which is really cool. And there are a really lot of rare fish and rare bugs that are quite hard to get and require you to do special things. For example, fishing at a very specific location with a specific bait at a specific time. There's also a bundle type system in which you have to collect all the rarest items in the game and hand them in for rewards, but I'm not going to show that in this video because I feel like that's a bit too much of a spoiler. Okay, so I hope that has shown you everything to expect from Palia. I really want to hit home the fact that Palia has been a lot of fun. If you like building, farming, just that type of cozy game, you can either play it completely solo or you can play it a bit more group focused. Both are perfectly okay ways to play Palia. I think that you'll enjoy this game immensely, on top of which it is a free to play game that will be coming out in a couple of days. Thanks for watching, guys.